What's up, YouTube? We're back with some more content, some more cars. Today, this topic of this video is going to be a JPFans haul. I want to start out by saying that I only decided to use JPFans because of Champion DJK's promotion of the e-commerce site. And up front, I just want to let you guys know that shipping, depending on how much you order, shipping is likely going to be much more expensive than you bargained for. In his video, he explicitly states that he did not have to pay import fees or duties. And so I think that's because he was able to use the either the ESMS or EMSC, whatever the pretty like the Japanese domestic market shipping service is. He was able to use that because he didn't order as much. I was going in under the assumption that it was gonna be like, cause I used to use Taobao back in the day. I used to order quite a bit from Taobao from like 2020 to 2022, and I never had to pay any import duties at all. Back then there weren't tariffs, but no import duties. Despite the packages being very large, the amount of stuff I bought, quantity of stuff. And so, because he said that, I was like, okay, cool. And so I ended up buying a lot more, simply because I assumed that there were going to be no duties due. Because I went in with a strict mission of I wanted some Mini Coopers and Mazda models, and that was it. But I ended up buying a lot more because, again, under the assumption that there weren't going to be duties due. So consider that when you're making your purchases, and factor that into, your budget, as well as what you're willing to spend for some models, because, value becomes, the cost benefit definitely begins to diminish, if you don't really factor in the additional shipping. Because overall, my shipping ended up being, with what I had to pay for UPS and the import duties, about $140. So really consider that. For what I bought, I think that it was still worth it. If I were to try to buy each of those items individually, I still saved money. But that's something that you have to consider, because that additional $57 that UPS was charging me was not part of my initial, budgeting. But okay, that's enough ranting. 3 minutes in, let's get to the cars. So, my mission was to get a bunch of Mini Coopers, and Mazda models. So, the Mini Coopers, years ago, before I started collecting premium diecast, around, I don't know what year they released them, but in case you guys don't know, BMW tends to contract out, I don't know who the manufacturer is. If it's OEM, I don't believe so. Some people were saying Norev, but I don't believe it's Norev, just because Norev classically does only lensed headlights and painted details for tail lights. However, as you can see with this model, it has both lens headlights and lens tail light detail. And so BMW contracts out cars, and so sometimes they'll just have 1/64 scale models available on their website. And this is just a green light, painted detail all around. They'll have them available on their website. And so I missed out. Before I started collecting premium diecast, they had released a Mini Cooper S in a myriad of colorways, and I missed all of them. And so when I was made aware of them, I tried searching them up on eBay, but it was only Japanese sellers, and they wanted ridiculous amounts of money. You guys probably familiar with Japanese resellers. They charge hundreds of dollars for models for whatever reason. And so when I was made aware of JPFans, I was thinking, okay, I could probably find some good mini models or models that are in okay shape, and I can fix them up, no problem, because I have a bunch of spare parts. So that was kind of the plan, was to go through, get those BMW Mini Coopers. In case you guys don't know, BMW owns Mini, as well as Oversteer, which was a sub brand of Inter Allied, who then the people that were part of Oversteer, which became defunct sometime in the 2010s or the early 2020s, one of the two, went on to go form LCD model. So and I wanted their Mazda, because they did like the 2010 2010's Mazda lineup. Unfortunately, this Mini Cooper right here, this blue one, is not 164 scale. It's 160 scale, because when I first pulled it out the package, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's a big boy. And you can see here that is 160 scale. It's not 164 scale. So that's unfortunate. So this one's getting sold. This one's also getting sold. I really only bought it. Well, I bought it for these two, hoping that these would both be 164 scale, but this is 160. So that one's going up for sale on eBay. So we have this Mini Cooper. Now let's see what else we have. So AR box, if you guys are unfamiliar, it's almost real model. They make their 164 scale line is called AR box, and for whatever reason they got BMW licensing, and they are going crazy and producing like every single generation of every generation of like the BMW lineup. Oh wait, hold on a second. Let me pause this real quick. Yeah, I don't know where my good screwdriver is. But anyway, I found one. But yeah, so BMW, they're making all the BMWs, right? So I'm in the process of selling all my old Power 64 BMW X5s. I forget what generation it is or what the chassis code is, but I'm in the process of getting rid of those. And because they had overspray issues with some of the grill work, and overall I just don't think that they executed the headlights the most accurately, and I'm hoping, praying to God, that AR Box does it right, because I don't know, I've been kind of mixed on their BMW stuff and their Porsche stuff, but hoping that they'll do it right. But anyway, so I bought this, which is a first gen X5, because it was like $11. I just looking at it right now, there is definitely some paint rash, and that's the unfortunate part, right? Because depending on where you buy them, the AR boxes are probably going to be around $20, and with all of the shipping, that's probably what this probably worked out to being about. Probably 17, 18 bucks. But it's still a first gen X5, which I haven't had in the collection. And what I love about the Kyoshos is you can see that they have the Fresneling, or whatever you call it, the lens for the reflectors, the striations or whatever, and also the separation, right? Accurate separation of the headlights, the color blocking for the tail lights, sorry. And so let's see, you can see the paint rash, right? But I still feel like, because like the magic about Kyoshos, especially some of the older models like that, is that with just a little paint detail, it transforms them substantially. And that's why I love a lot of older Kyoshos, because they include stuff like that level of detail that you don't see even in modern iterations of these castings, which is unfortunate. It's like a lot of the new diecast houses are cutting corners with their toolings, and it's unfortunate. But going back to, again, purchasing a lot of models because I was assuming that there was going to be no import duties, I ended up getting some lesser known Ferrari models, specifically the Mondial T, because I think that this would look crazy lowered. And I like obscure models. I like obscure cars in general, but also just of diecast, of them making. Kyosho made just a bunch. They were kind of like very comparable to Atomic Limited Vintage in the sense that they just made everything, you know. And so these were really cheap. These were like $6 each. And so I'm like, yeah, I feel like this would look crazy modified. So I got the convertible version. Again, manufacturer's Kyosho. I paid probably about $4 or $5 for these. A little paint rash on the hood, you can see, but that's not too much of a problem for me. Especially because I give older cars that are older in real life more leeway in my collection, because in my head at least, you know, if they're old, especially in Southern California, they're gonna have paint problems, you know, especially if they've been out in the sun. So yeah, so I think that yeah, it's just interesting to have models like that of obscure cars that have existed in real life in the canon of automotive history. I think it's really interesting. And then these next pieces are really interesting to me because so they are forklifts, 1/64 scale forklifts, plastic models. Sorry. Oops. Let's see. Plastic models that do roll. Doesn't really roll well on the surface because it's plastic, but so plastic on plastic, you know. But yeah, but these are sick because not only are they, you know, very well detailed, have tampo printed, excuse me, and they come with accessories. I won't be putting on the accessories, but yeah, but these are apparently like a I don't know what they're called, like a gacha machine or something in Japan, where like, you know, basically like you just go up to like a little vending machine and put in money and able to get these beauties out, because these are amazingly detailed and just in camera they look fantastic. Especially because, you know, these are supposed to be just a little cheap little gacha, you know. But yeah, they're fairly expensive to get stateside, especially if you're purchasing on eBay. I think like at least right now at the time of recording, like sellers want like $20 each for these models, not including shipping. So it'd be like $25 per model. I paid $12 for the set. So that is, which came with 3. And I accidentally ordered this twice because I received emails saying like, hey, there were problems because one of the sets, because I had bought a set, and then they sent me an email saying, hey, by the way, this is sold out. You got to do something else. So ended up getting, so I ordered some more, but then I received like a similar message and just assumed that meant they was sold out, but it wasn't. And I had already ordered another set, so now I have 2 of them. But yeah, those are super dope. What inspired me was the what's it called, American Diorama or something. I had ordered a forklift from another website, and once I received it, I don't know, something about it, I was like, I feel like this is a little too large. I don't know if this is true 1/64 scale. So when I saw these available, I was like, let me try these out. Next cars are ones that I bought because, again, assuming that I didn't have to pay the import fees, are these TVRs. I can't remember what do they call this? Staggerus? Yeah, the Staggerus. These are super sick, bro. I really like these. I've always liked this car, but I always tried to like abstain because for my collection, I try to only purchase. Do you see like the clear spoiler? That's super sick. And then the exhaust going out the side. Such a very strange and kind of ugly but cool car. But yeah, the duckbill. Not duckbill, ducktail. I don't know. I forget what these are called. The rear spoilers, but can't think of off the top of my head. But either way, but yeah. So I try to limit my collection to things that are only available in the United States, right? Like anything that's available stateside, even if it's as presented. If it's right-hand drive, typically I try to convert it to a left-hand drive configuration. And so, but because these are coming up on 25 years of age, now they can, or they're close to being imported. And I'm like, by the time they are able to be imported, I'm not going to do, probably not going to be able to do what I want to do with my collection, which is just create a lot of, realistic dioramas. So I'm like, I might as well just have them in the collection, because by the time, I actually do anything with the collection, they'll already be able to be imported. But yeah, these were available and they're in pretty good condition, I feel like. Not a lot of paint rash, if not any paint rash. Yeah, these are pretty pristine. I feel like I paid like at most 15 for both of them, so that's already a good deal. Because like I said, because each individually, those are probably at minimum $40 people are trying to get on eBay. So this next one is one of the damaged models I bought because I was like, oh, I can easily just replace this, just mix up some paints. So it's missing a side mirror. It's a Mazda Excella, which is a Mazda 3 sedan. And so like the 2010s, whatever generation that is of the Model 3, the 3 sedan, 3 Series sedan, not 3 Series, what? Godly. But here it is. These are super hard to come by. These are super hard to come by. So yeah, missing a side mirror. That's not a problem for me. I paid $11 for this, which is, I feel like, mad decent. Because again, these go for, even on JPFans, people are still trying to get $40, $50 for these models. And so to see this for 11, and all I gotta do is replace the side mirror. Well, I'm gonna knock off this one and replace it with likely some mini GT ones that I'm just gonna try to mix with some paint to paint match this as best as I can. It doesn't have to be exact because especially if you're only painting the covers that go over here. Typically they have the black stock. Sorry, let me stop putting my hand because it keeps on defocusing. But yeah, but most modern cars usually just have a black stock, and then the only colored piece that matches the body is the cover right there. So yeah, so I'll just add that paint. It doesn't have to be exact because with that separation of the black, visually it's gonna look like it's close enough. And not cause too many problems. But yeah, I paid $11 for that. That was really good. Okay. Next it's a race car. What are these? The R390s, the Nissans from the 90s. I love these on Gran Turismo, specifically the Calsonic one, which is also what I picked up. Unfortunately, the Calsonic one. So I bought it because in the I paid $11 for this or something. Okay, these are prices of the model itself, not what including shipping. Including shipping, in total, probably about $17, $17 to $20 for this model. Oh, sorry, this is a Calsonic, the blue one, the iconic one. But this is so pretty, bro. Kyosho did such a good job. But yeah, unfortunately with the blue one, the blue and white one, so in the actual listing, the guy had the picture of, in case you don't know, these Kyoshos come with Kyosho used to come in have these protectors on top of a pedestal, so it'd be the base and then the protector, so it would be like this. And then but unfortunately he was I didn't read the description, which is my bad, but he was yeah, I'm gonna take off the protector to save weight. Mind you, these weigh nothing, so for him to do that, I don't know, I don't like that. That was a jerk move. And so, in handling, the spoiler broke off. So, but it should be an easy fix. It didn't like break in half or anything. Like one of the Ferraris I had ordered many years ago that was sent from Japan, Kyosho, that also didn't have the blister top, and that spoiler broke in half. Like, it was definitely, you could repair it, but it was going to take more work. This, you just got to glue it back in place. But yeah, so after I take this off the base and show it, I am going to clear off the back to make room, because there's still a lot more stuff. That's what I'm saying. For the amount of stuff I got, God, this thing is clean, bro. Yeah. For the amount of stuff I got, the shipping was still... Wait, what's going on right there? Like super glue residue? No, I don't like plastic. And this mirror got messed up. But you can just bend that back into place real quick. That one's a little still... You can bend that back into place. But yeah, for what I got, I think that the shipping... Oh, wait, are these different models? I guess they are different models. Because this one, the rear diffuser is like way different. Oh, snap. Did these run in the same year? What year is this? Oh, it's the following year. So this is a 98, this is 97. Okay, either way, both of these cars are sick. And the detail is really good. And they roll. But yeah, so I'm gonna come back, pause real quick, and clear out the back. You guys can get one more look. I guess I'll do like one more showcase, just spin around as I pull them off. Okay. Focus. I don't know, that's a lot of cars. It might take too long. I'm just gonna take them off. Excuse me. Okay, we're back. And so again, I was talking about obscure cars, and this other one, or this one I'm about to show, is definitely, I would consider, obscure. So I don't know the sales numbers on this vehicle, but if the Doug DeMuro video is any indication, these did not sell very well. They packaged it well, though. Okay, get rid of that. But it is a Mitsubishi Miev. Or I say like my EV, because I feel like that probably makes more sense, because it's an EV. So I've had a silver one of these for a while now, but I forget how, it wasn't, I don't even know how I found out these existed. I may have just been looking up 164 Mitsubishi, and then at some point it just came up, like the silver one came up. I bought off eBay, and I feel like I paid like $30 something for it. Which I thought was like okay, because I was like, oh, it's so obscure, And they did a decent job. Like, they did, aside from the side mirrors not being realistic, which is unfortunate. Again, who is gonna make this vehicle? Like, and that's like at times when I feel like I have to compromise. And because I try to go for realism, as much realism as possible, and so these little knobby side mirrors kill any and all sense of realism. So I try to limit those types of models in my collection. However, with like super obscure stuff like that, I don't know. Who else is gonna make one of those? So what we have next is, so Kyosho started to bring back the $5 models. That's, if you guys don't know, that's what Kyosho was known for, was offering good levels of good levels of detail at excellent availability in terms of price point. Because back in the day, Their cars used to be, I mean, I guess it was probably high for the time, or like a little high at the time, but they were like $5, and it would be like blind boxes, and it would be available just like at like, you know, like their 7-Elevens and stuff like that, those type of stores, convenience stores. And so when they came back, when Kyosho tried to kind of get back into the 1/64 scale game after hiatus, they returned with some gas station models, right? And I don't know how much they retailed for. I feel like they were kind of high, probably like $10. But you know, I don't know how much adjusted for inflation those Kyoshos would be. Probably about $8. So it's not too far off. But I remember when these came out. So this came out with I think an S13 that came in like seafoam green or whatever. I wanted it, but the quality control on these models was terrible. Like I remember some of the Instagram homies got some, and they were just bad. Like I was like, wow. And you know they didn't pay the painted details for the taillights. By the way, they didn't pay the $10. You know they had to pay. It was imported. You know all this kind of stuff. It was quite expensive for what it was, and so. And they had these what is it called, a B1? Yeah, a Nissan B1. Never heard of this car before the series released, but I fell in love with this. I love this little car, and it's super sick because it's retro. I thought this was like a newer car, but no, this came out in like the 80s or something. So you can import these. I would definitely own one of these. These are cool, little cars. So now we have another Mini Cooper. Paid $3 for this. This one's damaged, but definitely it's missing pieces. It's part of that BMW collection I was talking about earlier. But you have lens headlights, lens taillights if you had them both. This one has a pretty scratched roof. It's in rough shape, right? Paid $3 for it, but that's kind of like I like that though. Like when I refurbish it, I'm gonna make it look like a used model. Like, you know, like some you know, like a Cooper that you would see driving through the hood. You know, like that's the kind of vibe I'm going for with this, or will be going for with this. Probably take off one of these, put on a spare tire. So, but add the side mirrors back. Again, make it a little hood mini. I think that'll be super sick. Cause they look good. Look at them at distance, man. Look real solid. Okay, now we have a Mazda that okay, this is a pristine. Well, maybe a little bit of paint rash, but I paid close to $30 for this. Again, this doesn't include the shipping, which was, I feel like, a good price for this. This is a Mazda 6 or the Atenza in international markets. Again, from that same Interallied. However, these are both this and the Excella or Mazda 3 are in, I believe, like a dealer type. I don't know if these are sold at dealerships. No, this doesn't have. It has a little bit of paint rash. But yeah, no, especially in this color. I feel like this color you don't see on eBay too often. Oh yeah, that looks good, bro. I'll bring it a little closer. You guys can see it. Yeah, these are super sick. Yeah, I love these. That's why whenever they pop up for a reasonable price, I try to scoop them up. Cause I had a I can't remember the color code for it. It's like mica, something graphite. I don't know if it was graphite mica or like a gray mica. Basically, it's just like a gunmetal. And I was able to find it. They still had one or two available on a good website for diecast is 99.co.jp. You can find some rare models on there that they just have like either old stock or just stuff that's like not available, you know, in the U.S. or U.S. adjacent places like Canada. if that's where some people order all their their diecast from. Yeah, so that's a good resource for potentially rare diecast. And so yeah, they had 2 available, and so I scooped up one of those, and I think they may have had like a CHR or something, or one of the mods like the CX5. Can't remember, but yeah, but that was like the only one that I would see. I didn't see any of the other colorways, not the white, the this color, this dark blue, the brown one. The brown one is the one I want. That brown one is sexy. So next car up, we have another Mini Cooper from the BMW website series. This one is in pretty good shape. I can't remember how much I paid. I think I paid $16 for this, which again is a good deal considering what they have, or like what they're trying to get on eBay. If they have this available, it'll be like $100 if they're trying to get it. It won't be free shipping. It'll just be $100 plus shipping. So I think 16 is good. Yeah, and then they're just awesome. I love those little minis. Really good detail. Wish I would have caught them when they're available on the website, because they probably would have been like $5 or $6. And then now we have another tooling that I have wanted for a long time, but just too expensive to get, or not too more than I'm willing to spend, on a model. Because once things start to get into like the $40, $50 range, not including shipping, that's when I start to really hesitate on purchasing. But I think I paid $11 for this next model, and it is pretty dope. I didn't get the full-on race version of this. This one does not want to roll, but it's the C5 R from Kyosho. This is sick, bro. Yo, take a shot for every single time I've said this is sick, but don't sue me for alcohol poisoning. So yeah, this is dope. Yeah, I've wanted these for a minute, especially the race ones, but I'll go back and, if they're available, and get a race one at some point. But yeah, C5R, I think I paid like 11. I didn't pay a lot for the model to be in as good of quality, or in as good of condition as it is. Yeah, like I said, prices, I don't know, sometimes they're all over the place. It's a gamble on whether or not you get a good model, because even if you're looking through the pictures, they could easily not display it at an angle where you're able to see if it has paint rash, and you still might miss that. And so now we have another Mondial, except it's I'm probably pronounced that wrong, Mondial, but it's the non-cabriolet. It's just the hardtop standard version in silver. Yeah, look at this. This looks dope. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like, because I don't really know anything about the mod. It honestly looks like an MR2, like a second gen MR2, a little bit in his profile silhouette. But yeah, I don't know anything about this car, but I feel like it looks best in silver. I got the red because I had to get a classic Ferrari red for the convertible and paint the interior like like a tan color or something. I think it'll look nice. Yeah, the Mondial T. Don't know anything about it. I would own one of those in real life. I was looking up the price. They're not crazy. Excuse me, crazy expensive. I know that they're like like it's a Malaise era Ferrari, but I think it's just like like I said, I like quirky. I like weird. So we got one of those, and would own one in real life. And then, okay, I don't know how to take this out. Oh, okay, that's how I do it. So it comes, let me show you the casing. So in looking up 1/64 scale stuff and wanting set dressing for my eventual dioramas, I found these, and it's pretty cool. Little moped. I think I paid like $3 for this too. So it comes with this thing in the back. So you may have heard me trying to figure out how to take it out because it's like a little keychain. But yeah, that back part comes off. Yeah, and you can just take it out. If this thing rolls, I'll be amazed. I do not think it would. It does! That's crazy! It actually rolls. You can pop your little wheelie. That's sick. That's super sick. I would have to go back and get more of these. Again, and these are another gacha thing. And it's like, Japan gets such sick gachas. And they're like I said, because they're often always like well detailed for, I'm assuming, the price. I don't know how much these go for, but I'm pretty sure they're not a lot. Let's put that on top of the Corvette. So yeah, those are sick. And it comes in a little case, little display case that you could use for anything. Yeah, that's super sick. Okay, now it's time for the big boy. So, in my hunt for the Mazdas and trying to secure basically all the colorways I can of all these Mazdas, I'll probably only showcase one, but I can't really put it up right now. But just know that I was able to get the complete box set of the Mazda CX-5s in the OEM packaging in all the colorways. I already have a couple colorways, and so those are gonna go up on eBay. Some already are, but I have some colorways already. Oh, this one doesn't come with a. That's blue. Cause I had a black one. I thought this was. Oh, that's sick. So I have blue too. So there are two blues. There's a dark blue and the regular blue. Oh, I didn't showcase that one. But there's the same blue that Mazda 6 is the blue that it came with. So it comes in this other blue. And I already have this blue. So one of them's getting sold. But anyway, so this is, it looks more red in this lighting. Let me take it out the box. But this is the brown color that I was looking for, that I want one of the sedans in. I think that'll be super nice. See, I switched up the word. Had to diversify the lexicon. Yeah, these are kind of like grail pieces to me. Like these Mazda says, see, the wheels are not good, and that's the other thing too that you have to consider, because I believe that these are plastic wheels, if I remember correctly, and they're kind of like co-molded, like how Hot Wheels, used to do. And because of that, I don't know what it is, but like whatever happened during the process, it causes like this weird bubbling sensation. And this is not. Did I break it? Yeah, I think I did. Oops. The mirror, because the thing was hard to get off, and I was trying to go slow, had to do it from the side, and ended up bumping the side mirror, but it's still on there. But I'm gonna have to apply a little glue. But yeah, here's this baby. This is super nice. But yeah, I was saying, yeah, so I got the whole box set for $77. So each one of these was $11, right? And again, mind you, you have to change out the wheels, but that's not a problem. And yeah, so $11 for each of these. I don't think that's bad at all, especially because, again, when you try to get these on eBay, they're like at least $70, $80 in the hundreds. So so to get basically all the colorways, yeah, I think that's a good deal. But yeah, that pretty much just like rounds out the haul. Like I said, I ended up getting 2 sets of the the forklifts. That's why I didn't show those, because I already showed the first one, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Would I use JP Fans again? Yes, but definitely in smaller batches, right? This is all assuming that what Champion DJK said is applicable to smaller boxes or lower weight boxes. That's what I'm assuming with the no duties thing. But if there aren't duties, then on smaller purchases, I would definitely go back and recommend them for smaller purchases. But definitely for rare diecast, things that you've been looking for a minute, especially Kyosho and some of these other brands that were largely available in Japan, but not, or regionally, but not really elsewhere. Because I know that, you know, if you go on Southeast Asian websites, you can find a lot of these, like the Mazdas, the Ultra Hot, that's what those called. The BMW X6s and X5s, whatever generation that was from that time, like 213, around there. Those generations of BMW X5, X6s, you can find those, I feel like in abundance on those type of websites. So regionally Asian exclusive or limited models, I would definitely use that website. But yeah, if you're gonna buy big like me, consider that, or consider the shipping as well as the import fees into your budget and what you value for each car. So I think with all the shipping, increase the price per car by a cool, I think like by $5. So that's not, or price per item or price per individual vehicle by $5. So it's not terrible, but that's still a lot when you think about it, you know? But yeah, so until next time, deuces.